All right, man, here we are. Dolphins versus Patriots week 1 review. It was a fun game to watch, fun game to experience. Fans showed up. Fans showed up. This place was completely packed. Hard Rock Stadium was rocking all game. And your undefeated Miami Dolphins, now 1-0, win this game 20-7 over the New England Patriots. We really outperformed them in every aspect of the game. Tua outperformed Mac Jones. The Dolphins just completely outperformed the Patriots as a team. And I'm going to say it, Mike McDaniel outcoached, I should say, Bill Belichick, in my opinion. I'll go over some stat lines, and then I'm just going to move on and talk for a while. Mac Jones went 21 for 30, a touchdown to end an interception. The interception was wild. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. And he didn't play bad at all. You know, he played an okay game. Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson both had some rushes that really pissed me off, to be honest. We could not stop them for the first, when they were driving downfield a couple times in the first half. Jacoby Myers, 4 receptions for 55 yards, had one incredible catch over Nick Needham, completely embarrassed him. Hate to say it, but hell of a catch by Jacoby Myers. Devontae Parker had 2 targets, 1 reception for 9 yards, and both targets were... there was another one that was kind of called off due to a flag, but basically 3 targets. One of them, the one catch, was not with Xavier Howard involved, but the 2 other targets were one-on-ones with Xavier Howard. The first one was the one that led to the interception, where he was tipped it up and Javon Holland was in the right place at the right time, and the other one was technically called off from the flag, but perfect defense by Xavier Howard to knock it away. Both pretty deep shots into the end zone, but Xavier Howard proved to be the better guy there. Patriots fans are going to realize that Javonte Parker's really not the guy he thinks he is. He's going to be out. I'm surprised he made it through this game. I'm surprised he made it through the first half. He's going to be out by week 3, I can already tell you. And on the Dolphins side of the ball, the guy that we've been waiting all offseason to see how he performs in this game, Tua Tagovailoa, went 23 for 33, 270 yards and a touchdown. Really played amazing. I was happy to see him have actual time in the pocket. Only sacked 3 times. I think 2 out of those 3 he took some hits that I was definitely not approved of. Chase Edmonds with 12 carries for 25 yards. The running game was not really on point until late in the second half, so that's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. I know Mike McDaniel was not satisfied with that. And on the receiving side of the ball, this is where all the action was. Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions for 94 yards. Had a couple insane catches. There was a lot where, they were just short. We didn't really see a long bomb today from Tua. I'm sure that we may see that in week 2. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they have an experienced head coach in John Harbaugh, so wouldn't be surprised if we didn't really see much of any type of long passes in that game either next week. But Tyreek Hill had one spectacular catch where he reached up with his left hand and somehow brought it in. It was literally in the defender's hands, but he somehow pulled it away just with his left hand. So that was incredible. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown, including that 45-yard reception for a touchdown at the end of the first half. We're going to talk about that. That was probably the best play of the day. Chase Edmonds with 4 receptions for 40 yards. Had one, it was probably the one that had most of his yards, where he broke a couple tackles and kind of took off for a couple runs. But I was really satisfied with how the Dolphins played today, and I was impressed, honestly. I thought the final score would be 27-17. Turned out to be a bigger margin, 20-7. I'll talk about the defense first. Like I said, Xavier Howard with a really nice game. Obviously, the first drive of the game where the Patriots drove, took a deep shot into the end zone, knocked it out of Devontae Parker's hands, and led to an interception by Javon Holland. Was there at the right place at the right time. Loved, the crowd was rocking after that. The crowd went absolutely insane. The Patriots were driving, like I said. Dolphins couldn't really find an answer. Mac Jones did not even have an incompletion up to that point. So that was literally one of the biggest turning points in the game, especially for the crowd to get into things. And Brandon Jones had himself a second quarter. The second quarter was probably my favorite part of the game. I know it's a big margin, but I don't know when it was exactly, but I know early in the second quarter, Mac Jones dropped back from the 10-yard line, was at about a 5. Sent the blitz. Brandon Jones went to Mac Jones' weak side, knocked the ball out of his hands, and was scooped up by Melvin Ingram, who was basically in the end zone at that point, and scored the Dolphins' first touchdown of the season. I'm not even going to try to explain how hyped up the crowd was after that. You can just imagine what it was like. Dolphins led 10-0 at that point. And then I just can remember this really clearly right now. Obviously, Dolphins scored a touchdown. Patriots got the ball back. On the first play, the Patriots got the ball back. They threw it deep. It was somewhat deep. It was like a medium range. It was like 20 yards downfield. And Brandon Jones had a nice deflection out of, I think it was Hunter Henry's hands. I just remember that play really clearly because he'd said 2 back-to-back really solid plays. And then one of the biggest plays of the game was Kader Kohu, where the Patriots were driving kind of late in the game. Dolphins were up 17-7, so the Patriots score, make it a 3-point game. They're right back in this. I forgot who caught it. I want to say it was Nelson Aguilar who kind of caught a little short 5-yard turnaround pass. But when Nelson Aguilar turned, Kader Kohu was right there running at him and hit him so hard he dropped the ball, and that was recovered by, I want to say, Jalen Phillips. And offense took over and went downfield and scored a field goal, I want to say. But Kader Kohu was really the leading, obviously the guy who forced the fumble and led the turnover. So big time credits to him for that one. I know we got a big opportunity, especially with Byron Jones and also Noah Igbenogany out of this game. Also, Eric Uzukama was out of this game, which was kind of random because I didn't really know what was going to happen. But what's his face? River Craycraft got brought up from the practice squad. Also Verone McKinley, but we really didn't see him. Neither did we see Craycraft. But it was good to see those guys, be eligible to play in the game at least. And to me, my favorite play of the game, and probably the biggest play of the game, at the New England 42-yard line. There's only 15 seconds left in the first half. It would be a really, really deep field goal, probably unhittable for Jason Sanders, who had himself a pretty nice game, by the way. And at that point, there's really not even a point of punting, so you might as well just go for it. And all I'm going to say is if Brian Flores was the coach, I know damn well he would have punted it. I know 100% he's not going for it. Now with Mike McDaniel as the head coach, he's going for it. Everybody loved the call. Tua said he was a big fan of the call, going for those types of situations. In the post-game conference, went for it, found Waddle wide open across. It wasn't wide open, actually. Kind of split a window across the middle, and then split 2 defenders from his speed. Took off, scored the touchdown right before the half ended. Led the Dolphins to be going 17-0 before halftime. I was getting ready to go inside. I thought half was over. Maybe, if they don't get this, half's over. Head inside, sitting there. It's hot out there. But found Waddle across the middle, split the defenders, took off. He's in for the touchdown. 17-0, the Dolphins led at halftime. And, it really seemed that the Patriots had no answer. The heat had got to them, and they were just done. But yeah, that was really the final piece that put this game over for the Patriots. And I'm realizing now, actually, going through this play-by-play from ESPN, the Kader Kohu fumble was actually towards the end of the game with the Dolphins up 20-7. But still, at that point, Patriots drive downfield and score. They're only down 20-14. They had most of their timeouts, I want to say. And, they get a stop and they drive, score. Just the worst case scenario, they take a 21-20 lead, something like that. But really fun game. I'm glad the Dolphins came out with the win. Probably gonna, I have to watch, not gonna rewatch every game, but gotta, check in with all the other scores. Sunday Night Football going on, Bucks, Cowboys. Bucks are only up 6-3, but they're in the red zone right now. They may score here. And, next week is Baltimore. Gonna have a preview on that, obviously, coming next week after the Week 2 predictions. But, I don't know how I did on my predictions today. I know I did pretty well. I know I got my upset of the week right. With the Giants beating the Titans, barely missing the field goal at the end of the game. But that'll wrap up. Your undefeated Dolphins are now 1-0. And, I'm really excited. Mike McDaniel seems like he could be the real deal. And, see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.